Hello, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Dream Do Done with your girls, the how-to coach, Tamara Hartley, the Pulpit Chick, Serena Brown Travis, and myself, Dr. Stacie N.C. Grant, the Chief Faithpreneur. We're back again for another edition of Dream Do Done. This is your accountability broadcast every single Monday, one-ish. And we love one-ish, but
Yes,
we'll be
we do.
here no matter what time it is, one-ish. So we are halfway through the month of July. I don't even understand how that's happening. That is July 13th. It was just February, and then it was just May, and now it's July. But we are here, and we're grateful to be here. This has been a rough year for all of us. So every day we get a chance to just be present, to be with you, to share, and to have a conversation. It is a blessing. So thank you for watching the show, for tuning in, for sharing it. Make sure you let others know about Dream Do Done by sharing the broadcast. Leave us a message in the comments, as well as visit dreamdodone.com so you can find out how you can take our relationship further than just one-ish every Monday afternoon. So I'm going to turn it over to my co-host so they can greet you today. Tamara Hartley, how-to coach. What's crack-a-lackin' up in Ohio?
Look, hello everybody. So yes, these weeks are closer and closer, and I'm telling you, Monday comes quick, and I'm like, wow, time is moving, but I'm here for it. So I've had a great week. I hope you've had a great week as well. So much is going on. There's so much limbo out there. Are we doing this? Can we do this? Are the kids going back to school? Is this going on? It's just kind of been a yo-yo. So Tamara's just been keeping her head down and taking action, because that's all that I can do. That's constant in my life, is to keep taking action in my personal business.
Action, action. Action, action, despite the distraction.
Yes.
Awesome. And what about you, Serena Brown Travis, the Pulpit Chick?
Well, listen, it's a pleasure to be here with you all today. Over the weekend, we celebrated my daughter's 16th birthday, my oldest daughter. So I know she's all itty bitty, but 16 numbers don't lie.
Wow.
So we had a wonderful time. We had a small celebration because these teenage years, I tell you, you still have to have consequences and all that good stuff. But so we had a small celebration. Just you're laughing because you know.
That's inside
parents. Listen, you got to keep us parents in your prayers with these teenagers. I mean, the way their mind works, and it's like, okay. Anyway, so we had a great time celebrating her birthday. And nonetheless, I'm so glad to be here with my sisters today, as we had a wonderful conversation prior to the show. And again, Stacie, I love the quote that you reminded us of, this action, despite the distraction. Yeah. So let's keep it moving.
That's right. That's the only thing that we can do. I didn't know how powerful that word was when God gave it to me. I take zero credit for it. He literally put that in my spirit, and I didn't realize he was going to make me live out all the distractions. I'm like, Jesus, could I just roll the information? Did I have to live it? Can we talk?
Now you already know how that works.
There's no getting around it. You just got to go through it. Yeah. And that is really what this show has been for so many of you when you give us your comments. And hey, Evelyn, thank you for tuning in. Soror, good to see you. And it's about showing you that there's a process. A lot of people only show the glitz and the glamour. They show like, oh, I woke up like this, and everybody's popping. Okay, we all have our days where we're blinging and we're glamming, but there's a process to the progress. And Dream Do Done is about
overnight success.
Oh yeah, overnight success. Like it just happened. Come on. Everybody has to work. Anything sustainable requires work. And you have to be able to wait the wait out when you're in that process. And Dream Do Done for a year and a half now has been able to provide you with information, with resources, with strategies to keep you moving from the dream stage, because we want you to dream. Some people stop dreaming. Those are the grumpy people. Y'all know them. But anyway, they stop dreaming. So we need to move from the dream stage to actually doing something so that you can celebrate getting it done. And that's why I love what we've created here with Dream Do Done. Of course, I'm biased. I love my two sisters. We were going to do this regardless of whether we showed it to you or not. We constantly challenge each other to do the things that we know we were put here to do. We just decided to go public and bring you into our private conversations. And we're just happy to know that it's been a blessing to you, that you've been able to actually get things done. And, you know, at the end of the show, Tamara, as always, will let you know how you can stay connected with us and move the needle forward. So Evelyn said, true work. Yes, indeed. Dream to action. You got to take that action. So we appreciate that. So our topic today, before we get to the topic, can I share a funny? I forgot to tell you all this funny when we were talking.
Yes, please.
So it's kind of related because it's a part of me keeping myself accountable when it comes to working out. So we always talk about our health and our wellness. So I'm proud of myself. I've been doing good, on my back on track. And your body does have muscle memory. So if you slip up at any point, once you start back, your body's like, oh yeah, you remembered how to do that. You remember you can't just watch other people and the weight drop off of you. But anywho, I was doing my workout this morning and walking to go meet my sisters in Queens that we do the girl track. So I'm on a prayer call that I do with Dr. Jolly every Monday morning. And I see this car like blowing the horn. I'm like, Jesus, it's 6-something in the morning. Who is really honking the horn at this time? So I just ignore and I keep going. He honking again. Hey, Mom. I'm like, it's 6-something in the morning. You trying to pick me up? Like, you want me to walk with you? I'm like, no. So I'm like talking and like waving my left hand saying, I'm married. Do you know he sped up, parked the car and got out, put on a mask, talk about, I'm going to come walk with you. I'm like, bro.
Oh, no. Okay. Don't get Mr. Grant hyped on this Monday morning. Don't get Mr. Grant involved in this.
Well, see, no, sis, we're looking at this the wrong way. At least you still got it at 6 in the morning. So see, you know, it's all about perspective. I mean, come on.
No, I'm saying like maybe she did wake up like this. I don't know.
I think your perspective is totally wrong. And Mr. Grant needs to be very grateful that you came home.
I could not believe I said, I got a bandana on my head, sweating and walking. Okay, but I will change the perspective, but I thought it was hilarious.
I always get people wanting to talk to me when I'm like, okay, I didn't even brush my teeth and you're here. Like, really?
I thought that was hilarious. And he walked right to the corner. He was like, all right, Ma, I'm going to let you rock because I see you busy. Bro, I gotta love our brothers though, because they got the smoothest pickup lines ever. And I guess the old lady still got a little something going on.
Hey, listen, it's all about perspective, okay? That's what we're here to do. Change perspectives, change minds. Wrong perspective, sis, but I'm glad we corrected it a little bit.
Exactly. Look, she said he took action for what he wanted.
Yeah.
Wait. So Stacie talked earlier about how we are no filter. We really talk about our discussions on and off the camera live for you at One-ish. So no filter. This is who we are. We mean it. When people tell you who they are, believe us.
Yeah, I'm reserving a few comments because I want to know what he looks like and all that. But we'll have that conversation
later. Too much.
Oh my goodness. All right. That was the comedy. But now let's get into the real conversation for today. So the conversation for today is, where is your paperwork and what is your track record in business, right? Because a lot of you that tune in to Dream Do Done, you are in business for yourselves. You're entrepreneurs. You might even be small business owners. You might identify as a faithpreneur, which that's the audience that I speak to. But where's your paperwork? And I can speak very candidly about this. Paperwork, I get like an adverse reaction to paperwork. I'm like, who wants to do that? Like, I want to do paperwork. But some people like paperwork. So kudos to all of you who love the crunch numbers and paperwork. The only numbers I like to crunch is what's coming in my bank account. Like when I get paid and I see an alert, you got a payment. I'm like, okay, that's what I want to see. But paperwork is important. And when we talk about paperwork, what is your business structure? What is it that you have in place to go after opportunities? We talked about the disaster relief funding that has gone out in the world, not just the ones that came to everyone if you filed your taxes. So you had a little bump in your bank account if you filed electronically, for those who had to wait for the paper check to arrive. You got some sort of stimulus. But for businesses, there have been multiple opportunities for you to apply for the EDIL loans, for the PPP loans. There are private bankers that have been doing special loans to businesses. Different cities and states have instituted funds. But where's your paperwork? Yeah. You know, as Dr. George C. Frazier would say, are you in business or are you in business? The business means that you're selling some fried chicken dinners outside in your truck, but you ain't got no paper, right? You're not like the Good Kitchen.
Because the Good Kitchen got papers.
Thank you for speaking prophetically. As we come up on tax day in 2 days. Yeah, that's prophetic, sis. So amen.
Yeah. But it's important to have your papers in order. And at this point in the year, we really want to hold you accountable, especially all of you who are starting businesses. You're in business. You have a track record. What does your track record look like? Get it together and take it from someone who, that's not my thing. I'd rather pay people, which is what I'm doing now, to take care of the paperwork, right? To take care of tracking what you have, how it's coming in, because how can you be a profitable business if you don't even know what your numbers are? You don't know what your bottom line operation needs. You don't know what your P&L statement. Do you know what a P&L statement is? It's called profit and loss. So you're probably losing if you don't know what a P&L statement is, right?
I knew the conversation was going, and you probably ain't got no profits if you don't know what a P&L is.
Well, no. Let me just say, for the people who kind of just float like me, is that for me, you know, when you go, hey, as long as I'm paying the bills, I'm straight. You know, when you have that concept about yourself, then sometimes you really, you know, profit and loss, but you also are just grateful that at the end of the month, all of your bills are paid and you have a little something extra in your bank account. So I appreciate this conversation because I know that I'll be taking more notes than anything else.
Now that's funny. But, yeah. But you know what? Whenever I work with clients, particularly those that are trying to start a business, it is amazing that a lot of people are just overwhelmed by the thought of paperwork. Mm-hmm. Now, when you really get into the nuggets of the paperwork, a lot of times it's not even as extensive as you fear it is. You know, even when it comes down to setting up your business, your LLC or whatever structure you have in place, some of those things you can do on your own very quickly, get it done with paper. I'm not even talking about typing. I'm talking about you can write some of this stuff in. And so when I break down the process to some people, they're baffled, wow, is this easy? And not saying that it is as easy, but it is easy. It is nothing that you need to fear, because once you get into it, it's a lot more it's more user-friendly than you think it is. We need to have that paperwork in place. So that's kind of the foundation of where I have to start. But people are amazed that it's not that hard to get your paperwork in order.
And here's the challenge. Even if you are in that starting phase that you're talking about and you want to go for a loan, I've been saying this since it started. Just apply. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
You don't get it. So you still will where you are. But here's what can happen. You learn what you need. So if you don't have your papers in order, if you don't have everything that you need, just going through the process will help you to sharpen up where it is that you're having some gaps in how your business is presented. So it's a learning process. And then you look at it, and once you conquer it once, it's conquered. Yeah. Then you just keep the file. You keep the record so that whatever comes up, you put yourself in a position where you can be competitive. And you never know what blessing is coming down the line if you don't do the work up front. And that's something that a lot of people want to get around. You know, even my own children, when it comes to but they're both entrepreneurial, they both have different kinds of businesses, but they want everything overnight. I'm like, that's not realistic. You see me build and grow, right? Nobody just came and said, hey, boo, here's a spare $2 million. Okay, right? I just had this hanging out bag. Here you go. Secure that bag. No, you have to build it. And as you build it, you figure out, I need to make sure that my structure is right. I need to make sure that I have an accounting system. I need to make sure I have a bookkeeping system. The two aren't the same. There's a process. You can have an accountant that does both, but it's two separate things. What sort of automations do I need to make sure? So if I'm busy, my receipts are being collected, or What's my sales process? All those things require you to have a paper trail so that you know how you're growing. So with Dream Do Done, you're not being good stewards of what you have if you're not taking the time to have the conversation. And remember, we're never in judgment here at Dream Do Done. We're just sharing what is helpful for us to do for ourselves as well as for each of you, because we want to be cash flow positive at the end of the day if you're in business.
Absolutely. And I don't think, and don't get caught up with how big you are, how small you are. If it's just you, if you're a solopreneur, that doesn't eliminate the need to have your paperwork in order and to begin to create that paper trail, because you never know what you're going to need. If you ever want to get any type of a bank loan, if you ever want to get beyond just the GoFundMe and you want to go to someone else for some money, or even if, in the grant world, a lot of times when people are applying for grants, they want to know, what's your track record? What have you done? And even as a solopreneur, you need to keep track of what you are doing. And I think that's an important part of the paperwork as well, not just your financials, but keeping track of the work that you're doing, the people that you're serving, so that when you go apply for something or do something, you can show your track record, not just in here, but actually show it on paper.
Right. And I think everything you all have mentioned is extremely valuable, because as someone who just, will just go for it, and then like you, Stacie, the paperwork is like, oh my God, are you kidding me? You do not want to get behind. Do you all remember putting together a thesis or a dissertation or your capstone? That's what getting behind feels like, times 2. So you do not want to get behind, because it makes me want to curl up in the bed and just, hope that it all goes away. And guess what? It does not go away. It's still waiting for you when you come back. So I think you guys have, given some very transparent advice. And so I so appreciate you for that. But don't get behind. Take it from me.
And even if you don't have a fancy tracking system, or you don't have software and application, keeping track of things, you can do it in a very simplistic way. I remember when I first started my business, I didn't have a bookkeeper or anything. I didn't have QuickBooks. I didn't have anything like that, but I had a clear receptacle where I kept all my receipts. Because when it came down to it, when you got to start filing your taxes and doing different things and keeping things separate, that box used to be my go-to, and it was a lifesaver. So even if you don't have anything fancy, you still need to begin to track that stuff however you can, to make sure that you're just keeping track of everything that you're doing in your business.
Absolutely. And we really hope that as you look at the pivots that we've been talking about on the show and different topics, everything has changed.
Yeah. Nothing
is going to be the same post 2020. So I see some memes going up like they can't wait for 2021. They want to say bye boo to 2020. Like, we come up with the most comical things that we share in the social media universe, but we have to still get through the rest of this year. And as you get through the rest of this year, in the pauses that are happening, some people are in transition back from furlough, not sure if they'll be on furlough, maybe out of a job. Some businesses are still trying to figure out how they're opening, what reopening looks like. Now that people who were, for some crazy reason, they thought the Rona wasn't real, now the numbers are spiking in those areas, and they're going to have to go into another shutdown. Like, this is serious times that we're living in. So use the time to get your house in order. Use the time to make sure you're caught up on paperwork. Use the time to start tracking what you've been doing, so your track record can create opportunities for you, because it's those who do the work are going to be able to survive. That's just the bottom line. It's those who do the work now. Do now what you don't want to do, so you can have tomorrow what others are not going to have. Like, that's one of the quotes from The Great Debaters that I loved. Who saw that movie, The Great Debaters, with Denzel Washington?
Yeah.
Yes. So, be willing to do the things today others won't do, so you can have the things tomorrow others won't have. And that's just the real moral to the story, that if you want to get your paperwork in order, you're going to do what you need to do. You're going to make sure you have your track record so you can succeed. And that's not just in business. That's just in life in general. Even in your personal life at home, family, kids, like, just get everything in order.
Yeah.
So that you're able to see, okay, this is working for us as a family, or this is an epic fail. Like, we don't need to do that. So you have to figure it out. But until you take time to evaluate, you'll never grow into that next position.
And Stacie, you just reminded me something when you take it to your personal life and just relying on your track record. Even during this time, this COVID time, you have to rely sometimes on that track record, just reminding yourself of what you can really do. Times when you felt like, okay, I'm ambushed, I don't know what to do. Go back to that track record and see all those situations you got yourself out of. See all the things that you did that you didn't think you could do. That's a track record. So absolutely, I love applying it to personal because that's what we do too.
Absolutely, absolutely. So as we now truck on through, I cannot believe that we are at this point in the year. Like, I'm still just trying to get over the fact that July is here. There's nothing that we can do about it, right? So just a sidebar, but I hope that everyone is using their time wisely. And of course, we're continuing to pray for everyone as well, because it's still a lot of trauma going on, outside of COVID-19. We're still dealing with the racial injustice and unrest and civil unrest that's happening as a result of systemic policies and issues that have plagued this country for years. And, folks are just at the point, it's a tipping point. And when I say nothing will be the same, nothing will be the same, not just because of COVID-19. Policies, procedures, companies are shifting and pivoting. They're writing statements. They're like, oh, wait, we can't ignore this anymore. Like, we really have to address this as a country. That is not just one person's problem. This is a country's problem, that everybody in this country needs to be in a position where they're treated fair and equitable. So there's a lot of work to do. So we have to make sure that as we are pacing ourselves, because this is not a sprint. This is not going to be over in 1 or 2 months. This is a marathon. So we have to pace ourselves in a marathon, that we're doing the pieces that we can control, because some things are out of our control. But what we can control is getting ourselves together. What we can control is doing our paperwork. What we can control is evaluating our track record, so we have something that we can stand on and we can be a part of the solutions, and not just adding voice to anger and frustration, but finding a path forward that will help heal us in multiple ways. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to my co-host for their final words. And I will let everybody know, for Dream Do Done, I'm doing a free training on Thursday called Unapologetically Profitable in Business. It ties into what we're talking about today. Unapologetically profitable in business. For years, I gave my gifts and skills and talents away for free because I wanted to help save the world. My name ain't Jesus. I'm not trying to be a martyr, right? So
first of all, I had to learn. Who does not want to be there? That name alone is fire. Okay.
Yeah. It looks like you need to do another trademark as soon as we end this broadcast, honey.
I think so.
Now, can you share with us the time? And is it Eastern Standard Time or Mountain Time? Go ahead.
It's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Thursday night. And I'm going to put the link in the broadcast for those of you who want to attend, but I really go into it. And it's this free training. I can't even begin to tell you what a blessing it was to just release some of this information to everybody, so we can stop with the concept, especially my faithpreneurs, because that's my audience that I speak to. Service and profit, two different conversations. When you're serving, you serve, but you've been given a skill, a gift, a talent, so that it can make room for you. What's that room? Profit. That you fill your vessels so that you can sell the oil. Unapologetically profitable in business. God don't need broke soldiers. He needs us to show and be an example as to what it looks like when you walk in that faith, and you understand that if he is the author and the finisher of that faith, and he gave you what you need, then he's supplying with what he gave you to produce in the marketplace and get paid for it. Not thank you in a ham sandwich, but for somebody to pay you what you're worth for the thing that you provide. Yeah, I see Serena like,
Yeah. I'm gonna make you a t-shirt.
I have no final words. My final words are: we'll see you on Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Unapologetically Profitable. I'm saying nothing else. I'm done.
Absolutely, that is something I think that everyone should be involved in. Dream Do Done will definitely be in the house to support our sister and to also figure out how to be unapologetically profitable. That is just really Oh my goodness, that just blew my mind. I'm sitting here like, yeah, I can put that on a shirt.
See, you better get that.
Yeah, I got to trademark it quick.
But always,
I got to trademark it quick. I'm putting the link in the broadcast right now. That's why I'm looking. But if you're listening, you're like, wait, I didn't write it down. It's free live training .destinydesignersuniversity.com. Free live training .destinydesignersuniversity.com. So I put it in the feed for all of you that are listening. You love the topic, Evelyn. I'm glad. I'm telling you, everybody, I did it Thursday and I didn't really promote it outside of my group, and it was really last minute, but they're still texting, email, and they're like, oh my gosh, like this was a game changer. And I'm like, well, thank God for that, because that is what I'm on a mission for. You have to go through something to know something. And I'm tired of seeing my faithpreneurs struggling, waiting for a miracle, walking in faith. You walk in faith, but you have to unblind your faith and do the thing that God calls you to do. And look at the things we need to fix. Can't fix it if you don't face it, so that you can be unapologetically profitable in business. And be like, oh, okay, I can help you with that. I'll send you my invoice. Which email should I use?
Absolutely. I'm going to share that out with my audience as well. I'm going to require my audience to come to that as well. I'm going to share that. So if you have anything about it, send it to me, Stacie, but I'll definitely get the link in the chat.
And let me say this. I'm going to share a tidbit from our conversation earlier. The numbers that Stacie shared with us for the people who have already signed up for this class on Thursday were high enough that we were all shouting about it. So I would recommend that you chime in early. I know I will, because I'm not going to get kicked out. I want to get all, as you hear, even Stacie, even in your preview, I mean, there's fire and fury behind those words, honey. So I can't wait.
Love it.
Absolutely. And there's no recording. People were like, oh, I missed it. I'm like, well, you missed it. Like this one, because I've never shared it before and I'm actually adding this time, I'm like, you miss it. Don't know what to tell you.
Well, no.
It's a new day.
You do.
I'm serious about the work.
Yeah, no, you do know what to tell them. The initial event was open to the public. If you miss it, it's fine. You can get a replay for a small fee. I mean, we already.
I'm not even giving this one out on the replay.
Say it again.
This one is not even going. Like, sis, this is how serious this one is. I'm not even doing replays.
Amen.
This one, you're not even getting the option to replay. That's how serious this one is.
It is what it is.
I suggest you get there. I'll be there. See your name on the participants list on Thursday.
Absolutely.
So,
all right, well, ladies, this has been more than fun. I know, Tamara, you're going to close us out, but Stacie, I cannot wait for us to connect again on Thursday.
Yes, absolutely.
I can't either. I'm excited about it, and I'm excited about Dream Do Done and Faithpreneur Weekend. Woo-hoo! We're gonna have a great time doing our taping there. But this is the season. Use the time to get your paperwork in order. Start evaluating your track record. That's what we really want to see. We want to celebrate all of you getting these things done. That's why Dream Do Done is here. But Tamara's gonna tell you how you stay connected with us, and we of course look forward to our broadcast next week.
Well, as always, it was a pleasure being with you all today. Make sure you stay tuned to our website, dreamdodone.com, so you can see all the products, all the services that we are offering to keep you in action, not just on Monday at 1-ish, but through the rest of the week as well. Because again, our goal is to see you checking off some things on that list and saying that you are done. So make sure you stay connected and make sure you connect with us on this Thursday. Have a great one, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Evelyn.